Are you looking to stay informed about what's going on in Madison without the media spin? Well, here's the latest news from the Wisconsin Assembly Chambers brought right into your home, directly from the office of your representative, who truly values his constituents' feedback and in always working hard on the issues that matter to you. Welcome to the Ramthun Report.
Hello, fellow patriots, and welcome to the Grand Army of the Republic Memorial Hall. Let's get you updated on what our office has been up to this week. This week's hot topics include a quick clip from Monday's budget listening session in Slinger, where we heard some of the great questions about your concerns. We hear a little of Rep. Ramthun's testimony from this week's committee hearing about our efforts to create federal term limits. We also discuss 3 Ramthun requests with some great questions from Jan, Margaret, and Josh. As always, don't forget to make your Ramthun request by following the link in the descriptions so we can bring your issues to the table. First, we got a short clip from Monday's listening session that we held in Slinger, where Representative Ramthun, Representative Gundrum, and Senator Strobel answered your concerns.
Roger Kostanek.
Close enough. Thank you. I just got one question. I don't care who answers it. What the legislature will do in Wisconsin to provide oversight to the COVID dollars Biden is spending?
I'll start. My opinion on that question is we are trying to, we have some legislation, we have some requests to him to give us some transparency so that we can help determine where those monies go to make sure they're all spent properly and timely. His response back is if I let the, this is him speaking, he said if I let the legislature get involved, it'll take forever to get the money distributed, which is just the opposite. We were trying to accelerate the process and to make sure that we could utilize the funds properly and to make sure that if we knew where monies were going, that we wouldn't have to create state dollars to apply to the same types of programs, which would create a double dipping situation. So we are continuing trying to work with him, being federal dollars is his sole responsibility from a point, as I understand. He's been difficult. That's my opinion. I would love.
What a great turnout. We thank those who came to voice their concerns and join us in our mission to better serve you. Next, we will show you a clip of Representative Ramthun's latest push for federal term limits from his testimony during the Constitution and Ethics Committee.
But it also occurs to me that the solution could be found in a reform of campaign finance. I would rather see us go towards fixing the campaign finance laws so that people have equal access to money to run their campaigns.
I'm compelled to express my opinion. I do appreciate the comments from Representative Pope very much, I really do. I agree with Senator Strobel in the regard that I think expanding financial capability for people to be equally funded through the government is probably not going to make the situation better. It will make it worse, in my opinion, because I think money is the root of the evil that causes much of what we have, dysfunction and otherwise, in government. The influence, the favoritism, the effect of dollars is the contributing factor, in my opinion. And on a personal note, I would tell you that when I look at myself in this servant role, and I'm a citizen servant, that's one of the biggest issues I have with this job. As you may know and may not know, but I'll be public right now and tell you, I'm not a big fan of the dollars situation. I don't want to get involved in the money because eventually, in my heart, I know it affects people in ways not meant by definition of the role for the service it's supposed to provide. It's supposed to work of, by, and for the people 24/7, 365. And when you influence in any way, especially through dollars, you change the outcome, you change the effect, and that changes the definition of the job. And I'm not going to go there. So I shy away from the dollars. So that's why I was attracted to this opportunity, because I wanted to be able to be in a position where we could identify that as being part of the problem, and hopefully we can address it through an amendment process.
We hope you see these efforts for term limits on federal positions gain traction, and that you see Representative Ramthun is truly here to fight for the people. We will also have a link to his full testimony on our channel and highly recommend that you take a look at his efforts on this important matter. Lastly, we can get to Representative Ramthun's Wheaties with 3 great questions from Jan, Margaret, and Josh.
Hello everybody, today is Thursday. It's a little after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to wrap up my day today after a 5.5 hour committee hearing for education, and we're going to talk Ramthun Report requests. So Tristan has an item here for me.
3 of them. We got Jan, Margaret, and Josh all looking for answers.
Holy smokes, a couple of names I'm familiar with here. So I'm first looking at these right now, fresh, unrehearsed, unscripted, and that's how you like it. Rep. Ramthun, last fall, a petition to remove Evers from office was circulating. Do you know what the status of the recall petition is? I hate to think all of your hard work will go to waste when Evers gets his vote. Jan Krieger from Campbellsport. Well, I do know, I was aware of the petition. I'm always working hard, so I'm not sure where that line comes into the situation here, but I do know that. In fact, funny you mentioned this, by the way. I just talked about this. The recall initiative was reportedly done. It had apparently received enough signatures to be legal. And ultimately, when the deadline came and went, the individual who was running point, I remember her first name was Misty and her last name I don't care, claimed that she didn't have enough, and it was it just ended very quietly, very mysteriously. I don't know where all those names went and all those ballots went. I was hoping to be a record custodian for those signature petitions so that we would maintain awareness of where they were, because that's personal information flying around her. But they're all gone and MIA, and she didn't make enough to get past the deadline successfully, so the initiative fizzled out, and that happens. So that's my answer to Jan Krieger in Campbellsport. Item number 2, has there been any action to encourage Wisconsin voters to call their municipal clerks and have their names removed from the indefinitely confined classification if they don't indeed meet that criteria? Margaret Whitmire from Allington. Oh, Margaret, it's been a while since we spoke. You know, I don't know what the activity of individuals calling their respective municipal clerks to ask to have that changed is, if there's a formal mechanism for that, if it's proactive, it's reactive, I don't know. That's a good question. I think what I need to do is check with a clerk or two. I can give the Fond du Lac County and perhaps the Washington County clerks a call and ask them about that, because I think once your name is listed as indefinitely confined, it stays that way until you formally make a change to it. So, Margaret, I think that's a great question, and it definitely deserves follow-up, and my office will get on it as soon as this video is over. Last but certainly not least, from Josh Carmazin from Cascade. Is there existing legislation or a possibility of creating legislation that would prohibit school boards from enforcing the wearing of masks even though the state Supreme Court has overturned the mandate? Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much, Josh, for the last comment. I'm here to serve out by and for the people. As far as legislation, that's an interesting question. I think it comes down to local control, and school boards should have the right to choose whether they will or will not do something. And even with regards to masks, I think the issue is not so much at the state level with legislation, it's probably more so at the local level with the local school board. And those are annual elections. There's an election of 2 or more seats every year. And frankly, if you have people who are doing things that you do not like to see as a member of your community, you have every right to run against them yourself or have someone else run against them and support another candidate that will work out by and for the people. Sorry I can't help you out in Cascade myself. I'm kind of locked in Kewaskum right now. But anyway, that's my answer to your question. Root cause of their concern is at the local level with your school board. Thank you all very much for your time today. Have great and blessed weekends. We'll talk to you next week. Bye now.
We hope you see our office is truly striving to bring more transparency to Madison by answering your questions on this channel. This concludes our 12th episode of the Ramthun Report. Don't forget to check the links below and make a Ramthun request. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and share this video with your fellow patriots. Remember, when you have questions and you need answers, ask us. Together, we can restore the principle of a government of, for, and by the people. We'll see you next week. God bless you and yours always.